Hello, welcome to Laura's Paint Minis. I am Laura, and if you recall last Thursday, whoops, we had gotten this guy base coated. So we're gonna get an actual start on him. So I still gotta actually get these mixed together. These are going to be the colors for the kind of like outer cloak that he's wearing. How is everyone doing? Yeah, the colors are getting a little overexposed on the camera because of having that white palette. Having something darker. That's really not much darker. That's okay. You will see it on the mini itself once I get to painting. Hey there, Kodiak. I am doing fairly well. I don't know if I sound it, but mostly over a cold. Okay. So we'll get started on this. I've got all the base coat and everything's brown liner, and then I've got charred brown and ruddy leather that I'm working with. So starting with those, and we'll see if we need another light brown or something. I was kind of thinking of keeping it somewhat dark though, like a darker, warm brown. It's a little bit late. Well, not, I guess it wasn't really all that late to be, but I didn't have the paints all mixed like I normally do and ready to go because I started kind of going down the rabbit hole of like, if you were on the Reaper Pro Tips show, there's some talk about like some YouTubers having a separate channel altogether for just the VODs from Twitch, which I've never run into that, I guess. Probably because of the way that I use YouTube itself, because I just been mostly going to the home feed, or if I go directly to a channel, I'm spend I almost instantly go to their playlists to skip past basically the stuff that I'm probably not as interested in. But then I was like, oh wait, okay, ADHD, this is not the time to go down this rabbit hole. I need to do live stream. It did get me thinking though, as to whether I really cared that much, I guess, about my YouTube channel. I mean, I don't have subscribers, and that was like the first thing that came up when I tried to first go down it, was talking about um, like a reason that they do that, an actual reason from the YouTuber standpoint, um, to not clog up subscription pages. Is that what they're called? Again, that's one of those things where like I know it's there. It was added at one point that they weren't a thing. Not something that I personally have made a point to catch on to. Hi there, just Lilith. Sorry, I was just double checking how the video looked because the light is making it hard for me to see if it's getting overexposed or not. Whenever I start new minis, since I start off dark, they can be kind of hard to see at first. Oh, thanks. It is natural, so thankfully I don't have to do much to get the wavy hair other than just take care of it. Gotcha. Yeah, anywho, it did get me thinking of like, what I really wanted was more interested in kind of focusing my time on. It's like I like kind of streaming on Twitch or the it feeds my ADHD of like just randomly rambling about stuff or yeah. I don't feel like I have like a drive to try to create or think about like topics or ideas to do like a bunch of different um um words, a bunch of like shorts or YouTube and various YouTube videos. Like I do paint alongs on there. But yeah, I don't know that I would say that I'm like uh yeah, I would not be one of those people that's like interested or has ideas for either has ideas or interested in coming up with a bunch of ideas. That just sounds exhausting to me. I also don't spend as much time on YouTube as I used to. Sometimes it can be kind of exhausting, like going on there, and you can almost sense sometimes from certain creators that they're like anxious or like feel like they have to get out and like kind of almost clickbait or whatever titles or videos and whatnot. I think I definitely enjoyed the process of the commission that I had through um, the other month. Was it just last month? I don't remember. And this. So let's bring some of that brown liner shadow back in. Oops. So I guess knowing that, maybe I should start really does make me wonder if I should even really put time towards a paint along. Granted, it does get a lot of views. But I almost wonder if I would enjoy it more if I was just doing like a special like paint on stream or something like that. and just like multi-streamed it to YouTube. But then I guess those don't go straight into your feed, main feed or something like that. Something I will have to think about. Yeah, that's a good point, Kodiak. I would say that the YouTube is not really something I would put in the category of fun. I mean, that isn't like the sole reason that I'm streaming or, um, whatnot. At the same time, I don't. We're luckily in a spot that we don't need like the extra income, but I mean, it also would be nice at the same time. Hey, perfect timing on Moonbot. Yeah, I'm really bad about like talking about, like purposely talking about my other socials on the other platform, other platforms and stuff. Yeah, I have a YouTube. I'll upload like all the Twitch streams, and then I do like a weekly paint along. I suppose like if I just stopped doing that and kind of started focusing on the Patreon and YouTube, the paint alongs probably would just become like I probably would still end up doing paint alongs, like a weekly paint along, and it would just be a Patreon exclusive thing. I don't know. That's kind of the hardest thing about trying to do art, I guess, and make money from it is figuring out how to get there. Oh, you mean like the post pics if you of like your versions of their paid along? Um, Not sure. I'm trying to remember. Um, that's a good question. I have been looking into like getting a actually connecting a Discord server to my Patreon because that is something that I feel like is really common as a perk for Patreons. Okay, this definitely needs like another just highlight or something, I think. Let's see. I'm sort of wondering like if that's something you can just do in a YouTube comment or not. Because honestly, I don't really even do much in comments uh when I mean sometimes I'll comment on someone else's YouTube, but not very much. I'm not one of those. Like I said, I'm not on there that much to begin with. Not anymore, anyway. And just mixing up a little bit of ruddy leather into rich leather. Get a little bit more of a highlight on this. I think that should do. Still keep it looking kind of dark, but get more of a highlight on these. But no, currently I don't have like an official place to, I mean, I'm trying to think. No, I just have a YouTube page and you would have to have a group, Facebook group or something to for people to post to it other than me. It's a good idea though. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not good about like regularly pushing all of my different things, social media sites. I have them. Okay. I didn't really do the inside of this cloak right here. I didn't notice. Let's see, just a little bit. I would say I definitely do not have the goal of being like a content creator beyond like, maybe making paint alongs and streaming on Twitch. But I don't ever see myself doing things like, like Anne or like Vince Ventrella or a lot of other um, painters. I mean, they also have like way more experience and knowledge and stuff. And I'm very glad that they do that and help the rest of us be able to not have to struggle and sit and being like, I don't know how to do this. We have videos we can go and watch. Yes, this is true. I mean, I don't really like have any aspirations to like get really big or anything or be like my hope is this can just be like maybe a secondary income so I don't have to like really think about um or worry about what I would have to do, if we did need a second income. Because I can't just go, I definitely cannot go back into the working as a cook. It's just so hard on the body, and there's a reason why usually by my age and in that industry you're owning restaurants, so that's other people who are running the kitchen like day to day and stuff. Because it takes a lot to do that, and it's hard on the body. All right, I feel pretty good for now. That's the way that's looking. You probably could be the highlights probably could be brought up even more. I really wanted to make them stronger, pop more. Okay, it's quite mixed. It looks like it's still not quite mixed. So next we'll do this greens are going to be for, I'm calling it like a undercoat, but it's got basically kind of a coat of sorts on. But don't know if you're able to actually see that with the white in background. I did not think about that. And here's the two paints that I just put down on the palette. This one, the Grave Gloom, I know I've not used in a while, so I'm guessing it'll need a really good shaking. Oop, that's creepy. All right. But anyway, things that I will need to think about / a rabbit trail that I will finish going down later. Right. Now that I look at it, it does look good. The way it's sculpted, these are seen separate. Like this is an overcoat, but then it's sleeveless, a sleeveless overcoat almost. Let's see. There's definitely like a sculpted in line there, but I don't know what that would be. Unless it's just meant to be like the undercoat got folded up on itself there. I can't imagine that it's a mold line either. It's kind of in a weird spot. I don't know. Did not notice that. The things you notice when you actually start painting. Take some brown liner and fill in that little armpit corner there. That's there. Well, does that mean the case of this looking kind of like it's a sleeveless overcoat? Can put the screen maybe somewhere on something else as well. Back here. Why not? I'll put on the bedroll. It's often one of those things that I end up leaving to last because I'm just like, it's bedroll. It could be so many different, any sort of color. That I need it to be pretty much. Wouldn't want to go and forget the bedroll. I mean, okay. Got this as the highest highlight is just plain grave gloom. Might need to thin it down a bit more. Don't think that was placed. Don't think we need it up there. But just making it almost look like it's supposed to be shiny. That's just not the case. Maybe a teeny tiny touch right here. I am going to do a glade so that we don't have like, because it does kind of also look like it's maybe glowing because of how much brighter the grave gloom is. Maybe that's just me. This is just a light glaze of the meadow green. Mm. Let's see. So there's really going to be a lot of leather on this guy. We got some metal, with some metal pieces here and there. Obviously the weapons. Um, which is part of why I went kind of like warmer with this cloak, knowing I wanted it to do a dark brown. So the current step is just to pick the next thing, I guess. Which I will probably have to see. I want to try and I'll pick the next thing and do a base coat at least, but then I'll have to probably clean my palette. But my son will also be getting done with his rest time here in a few minutes, so then I'll need to stop anyway. So we got leather, and these obviously will need to be different colors of leather, these two things. So we could have the belt and these two be the same leather. And we got a different color leather here. This goes right up against the belt and the gloves, so I guess the gloves, belt, and leather probably be all the same color so that it's different than this. And then this seems like it's probably going up, following it around. So like all of these are in theory, attached to this same leather. So probably these straps be the same as whatever I do for this cross bag strap and such. Yeah, so we'd have that there. And then the boots are way down here, so I could choose to either do them the same as gloves or same as the cross bag. Probably would do them the same as the cross bag, because at least in the front, that's the only place that that's really being seen, as far as that leather color would be seen anyway. Yeah. Cool. So, because the question is what do you want to do next? Probably do the gloves in this just because it's underneath this cross bag, and I know I'm more likely to end up getting paint on this when I'm painting that under piece. So it helps me to paint a little more cleaner. I've already done like a dark red. So I could do like a lighter, probably do a lighter color. Just grabbed a couple. I'll probably use rich leather in one of those mixes. So we got these. They're actually not like, probably won't use the polished leather. That's really similar to the rich and also a little bit more less neutral. The shield ground's not super dark either, or I mean, super different. At least just going off of what's in the bottles. But I've got some other browns on here because I used brown liner and charred brown, and those aren't actually, those are both pretty dark. So I can use one of those to darken down the shield brown if I need to. I could also just do the normal thing of adding a little bit of white to the rich leather to give it be more of a highlight. Okay, I need to go take care of the toddler, so I will be right back. All right, we're back. And I actually noticed right as I was leaving that I do have leather brown, which is lighter, a little bit lighter than rich leather. So I added a little bit of that to the mix. I had it sitting out for some cave tiles that I have from Dungeons and Lasers that I've been slowly working on trying to get finished up at some point. Okay. I almost forgot what I was doing even, or what I was putting this on. I'm tired. It's one of those days. Did not get all the way primed, it looks like. Missed some spots. I recently got some new uh they're magnetic visual planners. Like this traditional planner has never worked for me. I maybe spend time like writing down things of like, oh yeah, this is what I need to do each week or each day or whatever. And then I don't and then after I spend energy doing all that, like it I never touch it again. um Come to find out that's really common for those who have ADHD. Granted, like if you don't have a ADHD or at least haven't been diagnosed and you that's also you that it's not like that means that you have ADHD, but just means that you can relate at the very least. But yeah, got some. They are magnetic, so there's one that is a monthly calendar, which we already had like kind of a monthly, like a dry erase, monthly calendar. We already had that, but I do like this one better as far as the font and the layout. Um, and then there's a weekly planner, and again, it's magnetic and dry erase. And then it also came with a daily. And then I guess like on there on the month or no, not the monthly, on the weekly, there's room to kind of basically at the bottom, uh, you can write in. I mean, you could use it. There's space with lines essentially. I'm using it as like a habit tracker. Because the hardest thing about like adding in or tweaking or starting new habits, at least for me, is just remembering that to add them into my daily schedule or like certain to add them in on certain days if it's not like something trying to do every day. So uh, I'm kind of excited for it. I think it'll be good. So far, I feel like it's good. I mean, I haven't been able to have a whole week with it, so hard to say. But it feels like something I can sustain. Like I'm not gonna like spend all my time like with a traditional planner planning and then not reap the benefits of it. yeah, the reason I looked into that was got those um, visual planners because I was kind of just like actually took some time to just take stock of like um, just different things I need to do and as well as things I want to do and the priority, like how I would prioritize them when, especially to kind of think through of like, okay, there's there's days that come up where I have like doctor's appointments, you know, and I need to nix something. You know, I can't just keep doing everything. Um, so it's helpful, like, to go through those and go through the things and help kind of prioritize stuff a bit. But it did also but it made me kind of realize, like, oh, on the regular, things that I have marked as like less important, like chores, are getting prioritized in a sense. I mean, they're getting done. So almost every day, which means, you know, they're getting prioritized, whether I meant to or not, you know. And and I think that kind of brought in quite a bit of stress. Not the prioritizing, but or you know, um, thinking about that, but like putting so much focus on chores. So it's definitely been freeing so far to kind of like, yes, making time to get some chores done, but prioritizing other things like getting to go to the park or something with my son, or um, you know, if it can work out, go to like a toddler story time at the library. That's like kind of a set time though, so I mean, that one is probably gonna be a like once in a while kind of thing. But anyway, you know, Any of y'all have fun plans for the weekend? I haven't really been going out of my way to make much plans of any this month. The last couple of months have just been so busy. It's nice not having any plans. I think this definitely needs to be brought up a little bit lighter, just so we're getting more contrast, especially against the red brown, that reddish brown we got. So not, I mean, they're different types of brown, but they're not really different values from the looks of it. So I think I've gotten the shadows pretty well dialed in, built in on those. Let's see. I forgot that I was gonna do the build like this too, the same color. Might need to get out the smaller brush though. This is interesting so far. Although I'm thinking about maybe darkening this down and maybe I do a glaze of like the charred brown. Because I wasn't wanting it, I actually wanted it maybe even darker than this and not necessarily so red. Which I still have charred brown, so can make it a glaze. Add some water to it so it's a glaze. And this might help it play a bit more nice with that light leather. Check those. Might need to look through my also need to look through my browns and stuff a bit more closely. Just part of the problem is that it is kind of more of a yellowish brown as opposed to a neutral. I was hoping with using shield brown that would keep it a little more neutral, but here we go. I was wanting the cape to be quite a bit darker though, and I'm liking this up a lot better already, even though it's not yet fully dried. And there, so we can still see the highlights and shadows that we had in there, but it's just tainted or tinted. I mean, I guess tainted would also be correct. Uh, Tinted down, so it's darker now. Right, so that is probably a good place to stop. It is a little past 3, and even if I wanted to do more highlighting or tweaking on that, I would need to clean out my palette. So it's a good stopping point. But yeah, we made a lot of progress already. Got a really good start on this guy. I like how it's come along a little bit different color scheme than I normally do or have been doing. Monday, we'll be back with the goblins, which I already got to experiment. Show you. So if you were here Monday, I was talking about what I would do next, and the armor was what I determined the armor, and you can really the way it's sculpted. Uh, it's sculpted in a way you could paint it as metal or leather, really, I think. But I like how this, so I'm playing into the whole, debate of green or orange goblins. So here we have both green and orange. There's even green in the shadows of the skin, if you remember. So that's what we'll be doing Mondays. Monday is the kind of olive green leather on the rest of them. hope you join me then. Check out my social links to see where else I'm at. I can post that again in chat here. And thanks for stopping by. Schools, let's spell it right. There we go. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for stopping by and chatting, and hope you have a good weekend. All right, bye.